Okay, we're back with political analyst J.C. Polanco, also joining us, the moderator of tonight's debate, Dan Mannarino, and the host and managing editor of Picks on Politics. So I wanted to ask you right off the bat, what was the temperature in that room downstairs?
Look, I would say when they both came in the room, I think they were both very, very tense. And this has been pretty much the mood of the campaign, right? And you knew that they were going to go after each other. They were taking their notes right off the bat. But I think you guys were already discussing this was the most substantive that I've heard both of them on the issues, right? With less of the yelling, more on the issues, focused, making their points while disagreeing, but making their points heard.
I think it really comes down to what the constituents want, right? They don't want candidates that are yelling over each other. My next question for you was, what was the best moment of the night?
Well, hold on, just on your point about the rhetoric overall, I also think that Congressman Bowman may have toned his rhetoric down a bit because of the attacks, correct me if I'm wrong, from Latimer, saying that he was rhetoric over issues the entire time. That was the theme of George Latimer's campaign.
That's right.
So what do you think of that?
I think you're right. I think we saw a more substantive, more polished Congressman Bowman in this debate. It's what I started off with this evening. I had seen several of these before. I think he brought his A game tonight. And I think you got him with some very interesting, hard-hitting questions that put both of them against the ropes. And I think your question on reparations was just, it was just amazing. Because this is a district where, I know the district well. This is a district where that reparation discussion, I don't think it's going to poll very well. But you put both of them in a position where they got to take an unpopular position on a very hot topic, and they didn't shy away from it. And you cornered them until both of them agreed that they both agree on reparations.
Yes.
You should get an Emmy just for that.
Thank you very much. To your question, Grace, about the best moment of the night, I think that there were so many of them. Obviously, the Israel-Hamas is huge, a huge issue on the international and national scale. But if we're going to zero in on the local issues, I think the most important issue is the affordability crisis, housing, and how we're going to pay for things, and how people are going to get their tax relief in terms of SALT, and that is what people are zeroed in on, and that was what our poll showed, right? Because people want the money back in their pockets. So while the issues and the big moments came from larger issues like reparations, race, Israel, Hamas, I think people are laser focused on the real kitchen table issues that affect their wallet.
What about you, JC? What was the best moment?
No, I agree. I think there were several. Can I tell you, there were several really incredible moments, and I have to be honest with you, they all were about international and grandiose issues, and I really loved how, you put Congressman Bowman having to defend his record on not supporting Biden's big agenda. Right now Westchester is benefiting incredibly from it, so it's very tough to take credit for things that you had nothing to do with. We see Republicans do it across the country when they want to be at the groundbreaking on things they voted against. So very tough to deal with the issues in Westchester and the Bronx, not having supported President Biden's agenda. But then there's something else there. I think that Congressman Bowman was in a position to help with the SALT issue. We really didn't hear him take a position where I have done this about SALT. That's what matters to a lot of folks in Westchester who are paying enormous amount of money in property taxes. One of the highest tax counties in the entire country, if not the most expensive place as far as taxes go.
And when it comes to taxes.
And when it comes to property taxes.
They need both Republican, they need that majority to bring SALT back.
Yeah, they do. And I think that, this is one of the things I mentioned before. A minority leader, Jeffries, must be looking at this race saying, I cannot believe there's millions of dollars being spent on a primary when we got to win some Republican seats in Biden districts. And he must be pulling his hair out at night because there's a lot of money going into this race. And your viewers are watching the nonstop commercials. Like, there's a lot of passion behind this. This
and
campaign.
there are a lot of personal attacks on those commercials. And I also want to touch lightly and very quick before we get to our final thoughts on the poll numbers, because we've seen an increase on George Latimer's popularity, let's put it that way. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that he's going to win this primary?
When you look at the numbers, right, 48% to Latimer, to 31% to Jamaal Bowman, 21% undecided. So that is a big chunk of the population, and it's going to be in terms of early voting, I think, in terms of the numbers of who goes out and votes right now. George Latimer is obviously leading in the poll numbers, but when you have that much of an undecided, you're the pro on this one.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I'm looking at a lot of viewers yelling at me on Twitter and also on X, whatever it is. The polls are just so much in favor of County Executive Latimer. It's almost daunting if I'm on Congressman Bowman's campaign. How do you make up for this ground just right before a primary? And consider the kind of endorsements you're getting last minute are not going to bode well in this district. Democratic Socialists of America in this district? I don't think so. This is not Astoria. It's not going to bode well.
the ads, right, for George Latimer, obviously in his favor. But when you look at the social platforms, that goes in favor of Bowman. He has a very vocal audience on social media with AOC and so on and so forth. So it's really, I think Latimer's leading, but we're going to see how it all plays out.
I wish we had more time, gentlemen, but our time is up.